Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome back to Donkey Kong Land 2. Last time we actually entered the final world already, part 7 and already into the final world. I can't remember in Donkey Kong Country 2 things going so fast, but this game is a lot more compact after all, so that's the excuse. It's a Game Boy title after all. Some things were worked around in order to fit the level themes and level names into this game. But at the same time it's also a lot smaller, of course, a lot less side quest related things, smaller levels, stuff like that. And speaking of levels, let's move on to Kong College, the next level. It's not really a level, of course. But we can save the game quickly in order to see where we are progress-wise. 71%. Okay, we're nearing the end, it seems. Not just indicated by the fact that we're in the final world. But Windy Well is up next. Of course, another one of these mineshaft levels. This one making use of wind again, just like in Gusty Glade, only this time it's not horizontal wind, it's vertical wind. And it's the kind of wind we use in order to go upwards. It actually pushes us upwards. And of course all of the platform challenges that come with it. It looks a lot like the original level, of course, making use of the same gimmick. But there are also a lot of differences, obviously. Okay, here's the first one. Here we find a single banana saying, hey, go this way. And once you go this way, you will find it's because a bonus barrel's in there. Okay, this one makes use of collect the stars, which is pretty annoying here. Because of the background, you can't really see the stars. Interesting challenge. Interesting background. Just remember there are 9 of these stars at all of these barrels. 3 barrels, all of them having 9 stars in a square. It's basically the way you can help yourself with this bonus. Interesting bonus, making use of the background to camouflage the stars. But okay, let's move on in the level itself, because of course we need to continue with that as well. You were very awkwardly placed, sir. But luckily there's a Kong barrel right after him, as if the game knows you're probably going to get hit there. But okay, moving on with Diddy then. Okay, this mechanic also returns. The wind that suddenly stops at some point, making you fall down a little bit, and that you can use in order to dive under some zingers. Something the original level already made use of in a pretty annoying way. Luckily it's not as bad in this version. Like most of the levels, I definitely consider most of the levels that are present in this game a lot easier than their original counterparts. Donkey Kong Land 2 is in general an easier game than Donkey Kong Country 2, I feel. Most of the challenges that the original game had are definitely still present in this quote-unquote remake. But because of things being more compact, it definitely does feel a lot easier in a lot of instances. And a lot of the harder challenges, like this one, the diving under the zingers, and making use of the wind that suddenly stops. As you can see, still present here, but not as formidable as in Donkey Kong Country 2. So the game does feel a lot easier, even though it does try to mimic Donkey Kong Country 2, it also makes it easier at the same time, I feel. By making use of the challenging aspects that DKC2 had, but also making them easier by making less of them or making them in an easier way. Kinda like Parachute Panic did by widening all of the corridors that you need to go through. G over here, by the way. But that's always a very clear example of it, I feel. Parachute Panic, pretty challenging level in DKC2, and here in DKL2, easier because of having wider corridors. But this is definitely also an example of it. But okay, moving on, we will actually find Dungeon Danger. And if correctly, that should be a name that should not ring a bell. That was actually not present in Donkey Kong Country 2. Say hello to the replacement level of Castle Crush. Obviously, Castle Crush's gimmick with the rising floor was not really possible to implement that on the Game Boy. So just like with Haunted Hall, Rare decided to create an entirely new level, even complete with new name. Dungeon Danger. Interesting. It's just a generic dungeon slash castle themed level. No real gimmick, I feel. But it does have all of the collectibles we need to get. First of one being the K, which you need to fall down to, but unfortunately we can't get back up. The jump is too high to make, so we need to go around again. But as you can see, the first castle themed level in this game, which normally was Castle Crush, is actually an original level. The second original level in this game. After Crazy Coaster, we also have Dungeon Danger. The game is trying to be somewhat of a remake of DKC 2, but that does not mean there are no original levels present at all. As you can see, here we have one yet again. But okay, this part is a little bit mean. The game is obviously trying to say there's something down here, but in all honesty, there isn't. This is just a way to fall down again. Nothing in between. But still, it isn't here for nothing, because there are multiple of these, as you can see. And this one actually does have something, an invincibility barrel for some reason. But more importantly, the hero coin is here. And that's all there's here. Once again, not really sure why the invincibility barrel is here. Not really necessary. And it doesn't even last all that long, so you can't really use it for something else later on. But still. Okay, this is a kind of maze-like area with all these platforms. The O is hidden here, and more importantly, a cannon is hidden here. Say hello to the very first instance of 2 games of using cannons for bonuses, where you first find the cannon, and not the cannonball. The cannonball is actually way up higher over here. But since we did see where the cannon was, let's head there immediately. Interesting how that worked out. But okay, the bonus is pretty easy. Just a couple of chains we need to climb over and make sure we don't get hit by the Kremlings. Nothing too special. Let's move on. Because the level obviously continues further on. Okay, here we actually find a split pathway. There are multiple ways we can go here. But first we want to go to the left by climbing the first chain we find. Because we find the N in this area. And now we want to go right. Okay, these guys moved on a lot further than I thought they would. Otherwise I would have just jumped over them. Okay, once again the pathway splits up again, as you can see. If I remember correctly, we want to take the right one, because bonus barrel. And there it is. Okay, this one is collect the stars, once again making use of these chains. The game does know that there's a level called Chain Link Chamber later on, which actually uses these chains as a gimmick. Yet this level is also trying to use them as a gimmick a lot. I can imagine why, because it is a pretty big thing in these castle-themed levels, the chains. And even when creating an original new castle level, they couldn't really go around these chains. So they still make use of it a lot. But it's not the official gimmick in this level. Chain Link Chamber is definitely the more noteworthy chain climbing level. Which is of course still present in this game. Castle Crush isn't, but Chain Link Chamber is. But this was Dungeon Danger. And it is done. But before we move on further into the castle levels, as you may know, Clapper's Cavern is in between. So let's move on to the next ice level. Just like the original, Clapper is back, and he's not able to turn lava into water this time around. He's able to turn water into ice. But we don't want to go here quite yet. Of course, there's going to be secrets to the left. If we move up here, we will find a series of barrels leading to the K and the hero coin. And a 1-up that we can't carry. But okay, let's move on. Here we find Clapper. This time we do want to make use of him. Because I'm pretty sure I docked in time, but apparently I didn't. Let's try that again. Like I was trying to say, just like in the original level, you don't want to enter the water. You might think you can, but it's actually freezing water. Officially, there's supposed to be a set of teeth in here, just like in the original level, but of course, not present here. So I might say the water is poisoned again, just like in Slime Climb, but I think a more logical explanation looking at the context of this level, since it's an ice level, I think a more logical way to say is just water is freezing. You can't enter it when it is too cold. But once we freeze it, we can actually walk over it and we don't have to enter it. It's the best way to explain this level context-wise, I think. Not poison water, just freezing water. You can't swim in, but you can walk over. So you can safely describe Clapper's abilities as being able to make water colder. If it's lava, he turns it into water. If it's water, he turns it into ice. No matter what, he's able to make the water, quote-unquote, colder. Okay, I missed it. Obviously, there's a bonus barrel. Please say I can jump that. I'm afraid I can't. Let's try that again then. Since the checkpoint was so close to it, I don't have to worry about dying. I'm pretty sure I have more than 100 lives by now. Okay, jump on you and into the barrel. And don't miss it, because you can't make the jump back up there, as you can see. Okay, this bonus makes use of simple platforming challenge with some ice water underneath us. Just don't fall down. That's all you have to do. Okay, what do we have beyond the bonus? Okay, dude that's trying to push us into the water. Don't have to be afraid for him. N in plain sight. Okay, next Clapper section should be coming up. We have not seen him in a while. Ah, there he is. Okay, let's move on. Remember to duck in time whenever you need to slide under these singers. Because like I've proven at the beginning of the stage, if you're too late you get hit by the singers. And you can use the ice physics to slide under them. Okay, there should be a hook here for the stuff here, which is the G. So, once again, all letters gotten. And end of stage. Let's move on. Back into the castle. Because I did promise you another castle level. Chain Link Chamber is up next. One of the hardest stages in this game. In the original game. Let's see if this game's iteration of the level is able to do justice to the original Chain Link Chamber's difficulty. First move to the right, because there's a K there. If you are interested. Let's see what kind of challenges involving the chains we will find this time around. And of course where the bonus and hero coin are hidden. Also something we can't ignore, of course. First we want to move in this niche to the right, because the O is here. Easily gotten. What is also easy is to get hit by the Kremlings if you're not paying attention. Okay, let's move up now. Should be enemies coming up. Yeah. Kinda remembered you, Mr. Crook. And for the second crook, you're going to want to notice the pathway actually continues behind him, and that's because something is hidden there. Bonus barrel. Okay, what do we need to do now? This looks easy enough. Just a couple of platforms and some stars on them. Very basic platforming challenge. The only real challenge here is the timer, as you can see. It's not very nice to us. Time is very limited here, but still doable. Oh, it would have been interesting if this guy was actually turned around and hit us immediately once we enter the exit the bonus. That would have been mean. But no, they're not that big of a jerk. That would have been unfair. Okay, what do we have over here? Nothing. Just a banana coin. Nothing too important. Okay, checkpoint. So we're halfway. Okay, there's obviously something down here. Just a niche with some banana bunches. Okay, let's move on. Get away from me, because there's something you're hiding here. Hero coin, thank you. Ow. Okay, next time don't jump too far. That was pretty dumb. Hopefully we'll get a Kong barrel pretty soon. Okay, this kind of room looks familiar. Something like this is in the original Chain Link Chamber 2. A big roster of chains and a couple of zingers that float around there. Most important about this area is that you want to head to the top right, because the second bonus barrel is here. For a really easy defeat all enemies bonus. Got a lot of room to work with, so should not be a problem. Okay, and with that we have everything, excluding the Kong letters. One of them is over here. And the final one's obviously going to be right before the end. Ah, dang it. I was pretty sure I pressed right in time. Apparently my timing is a little off today. So far this level definitely looks a lot easier than its original. Like I explained at the beginning. Oh! You scared me, sir. Okay, still alive. And a chance to finish my story. Like I explained at the beginning of this episode, the levels definitely feel a lot easier because of the challenges being more compact, the levels being shorter, the game giving you a lot more room to work with in some challenges. And this level is not an exception to that rule. You can definitely see the same gimmicks as in the original Chain Link Chamber, but they're all a lot less, a lot easier, and therefore simply an easier level. A remake, but easier. Best way to describe this game, you might say. Let's see if Toxic Tower does the same. Toxic Tower, of course, also one of the trickier courses in the original game. As you can see, poison water returns, just like in Slime Climb. Basically, this is another Slime Climb. Just with the animal challenges that the original Toxic Tower also gave us. Unlike in the original, we don't start with Bradley, but with Squitter for some reason. Something I don't really mind, because it does change up the pace a little bit, give the feel of playing a new level. Oops. Like the last time I worked with Squitter, he is a little bit harder to control in this game. Therefore I slip up a little bit more sometimes. Luckily only sometimes. But okay, we want to head to the right wall first, because the K is there, like you saw at my first attempt. But I slipped on my webs. I slipped off my webs, I must say. Working with that select button is definitely tricky compared to the original controls. Okay, next part. Redley. But I do like how, because of the way they try to work with the poison in this game, and it worked the same way in Slime Climb, because of not being able to implement the snapjaw there that chased us in the water. This level and Slime Climb basically become the same kind of level, and both have the same type of rising poison water that chases us, which is pretty interesting. Okay, the Redley section is also pretty easy to do. It's where the first bonus is, but it's in plain sight, so definitely not hard to find. Oh, there's something down here. Oh, it's for the hero coin. Oh, luckily I checked, because I kind of forgot about that. But luckily some bananas pointed me there. And I even had the time to check it out still. Ooh, arrow to the right, eh? Then I'm going to check that out. Okay, the O seems to be here. Oh, let's not fall too far. Bradley also has some slippery controls, it seems. Could not remember that from him, but slippery controls. Okay, that was the Bradley section. And if you remember correctly from the original Toxic Tower, there was also a Squawks section, but for some reason this game also implemented another Chain Link section. Apparently in this game they thought Chain Link Chamber was not enough. We need more Chain Link levels, so even Dungeon Danger and Toxic Tower are going to make use of a lot of Chain Links. The expansion of Chain Link Chamber. But we also still have a Squawk section, as you can see. It is also still present. It also looks like its original counterpart a lot, with zingers a lot. We need to do this section again. Are we playing Toxic Tower or are we still playing Chain Link Chamber? I can't tell the difference anymore. Let's try that again, and this time with 2 Kong, so I can actually survive a hit against these annoying zingers. Especially if you're moving upwards, because of the vertical scrolling, you sometimes don't really have time to react on anything that moves in from the top of the screen, making it easier to get hit, like this guy. Okay, let's move on. Oh, Crooks here too. Ow. Okay, one more hit. So, oh, Kong barrel, thank you. 2 hits again. We should be nearing the end of this. We still need to find the G, of course. I know where that is. Okay, go up here. The left was a different pathway that you could have taken. But nothing there, so you can ignore it. Same deal if you chose to go the left pathway. In that case, you can ignore the right pathway. Because on both of them, nothing. Okay, here's the G. I can remember it. Did not remember that porcupine being there. Otherwise I would have avoided him, and there we go. Of course, another chain link section. This game just can't refuse. Donkey Kong Land 2 and their chain links in the castle levels. But anyway, that was it. And with that we end at Stronghold Showdown, the level that showed us Donkey Kong for the first time in DKC 2. No boss battle here, just Donkey Kong here showing us off, hey, we're done with the game, and then K. Rool saying, no you're not, I'm taking him away. And we move on to the Flying Croc. Is the same thing going to happen here? They might put in the boss fight here, or did they simply copy Stronghold Showdown as well? Completely, no new things. Or did they put a chain link section in here? That would be nice. We will find out next time, because I see 22 minutes on my timer. Enough for today. Next time, for a cliffhanger you might say, we will move into Stronghold Showdown and see what they did this time around in this game. Thanks for watching. We will finish this game next time. Treecks out. Later folks.